It's your guy, Derek 420 Colorado, coming at you live and direct from the Dream Farm Studios. Woohoo! For another fantastic edition of Talk About It Tuesday. Yeehaw! We're going to let some folks get in here. What's up, Corey? What's going on? What's happening? So today we're going to be talking about trimming, dry trim versus wet trim. Going to be talking a little bit about the anniversary shenanigans coming up this week. What's up, Kenneth? What's up, Chuck? What's up, Roxanne? Hey, Roxanne, can you hit the @everyone tag for me as well? What's up, Shane? What's up, Nick? Willie Foster in the house. What's up? Joey Beavers in the house. What's happening? Yeah, so guys, we just got off the mountain, did a little snowboarding this morning, so we're just getting back here to the Dream Farm. What's up, Marion? What's up, Chad? What's happening, Roger? For real, Shane? Where you been? Still no cigarettes, folks. It's been real good on the no cigarette front. So it's pretty rad. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about trimming today. I wish I had something to actually trim, but as most of you know, the Dream Beans plants that are going right now, we can show the first. Almost dropped the dew. Almost kicked that dew over. Can't do that. All right, we'll get a little bit of action going here. Little pre-Dream Farm report action. Lime times are looking real good. Those lime times are looking fire. 100 viewers, woohoo, all right, hell yeah, can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah! All right. So yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit about trimming, about dry trim versus wet trim, a couple of different tips, tricks, methods, techniques that I've learned over the years that can kind of help you out in the ever-dreaded trim jail. Nobody likes trim jail. What's up, James? What's up, Scott? Big Brian Ralford in the house. Delaney Black, what's happening? Brad Bick, the rookie grower of the year. Richard Kuhn, you're not going to get into the video, just watch it. Lucky Ross, Jeffrey, what's up? 130, let's go. So yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit about trimming. It's going to be great. Alan, the lime times are coming. Y'all see, I'm making them right now as we speak. And we got some real quality good ones coming up here. Since the Dream Farm report, what the hell was that? Was that Sunday? Yeah, that was Sunday evening. They've grown a bunch. They're really starting to get their legs. They're really starting to take off. So it's super rad. It's a lot of work, Richie Coates, but I definitely, it's been my entire life since I was 13 years old. So it's just another day. Dad time. You're right. That's a fact. Oh, hey baby, will you tell me hold on, let me see if I can get him. Okay, members of the week and plant of the week. I know we had Bradley Blasco, Will Hutchins, Lex Bernal, Brian Roberts. Damn it, I knew. I see. Okay, so we've got Bradley Blasco, plant of the week for that great, fantastic, those vegging plants. I think that's the picture that I used for this Talk About It Tuesday, so that's pretty rad. So there's Bradley Blasco right there. He wins plant of the week for those vegging, amazing veg, healthy plants. Brian Roberts, you get plant of the week honors this week for the double BB milk. Those two blueberry milks that you had going were super fire. 150 viewers. There we go. Will Hutchins, member of the week, and Lex Bernal, member of the week as well. I don't remember why, but y'all did something cool. We've also got the new Year of the Dream stickers. Yeah, they're super rad. It's 4/19, folks. Y'all know what that means. Y'all know what that means. It means it's time for a dab. Let's get those dabbers ready. Let's get those dabbers hot. Where is my name? Y'all, this is how silly I am. What's up, Hank Snell? Hey, perfect timing, Hank Snell. For everybody that doesn't know, this right here is the most effective dabbing device ever created. It comes straight from the maniacal genius that is Hank Snell. Y'all go grab yourself one, dankhankglass.com. He's always blowing stuff. Go follow him, man. He's always doing live glass blowing. It's super fucking badass. I usually don't cuss on here, but for my boy Hank, I will. All right, 420, folks. Let's get him ready. Hopefully my boy Ralph is out there. Ralph Oreo, hopefully you're there, ready to get it rocked out. Hopefully you're feeling better. And we can rock out a fat dabble Ruski. Damn right. Hey, it's funny. Corey and Steve, whenever y'all watch this, message me. Now we're on the same time, in the same time zone. And so you know if it's 420, it's time on Tuesday, it's time to do a dab. So let's get them ready. Let's get them fired up. Let's go. Oh, shit. London pound cake, that's the damn trick every time. It's got those really funky terps, those really savory ones. Oh, man. I never got any kind of cake or sweet out at London pound cake. It always gives me that funky, breathy, real savory aromas. Yeah. About to get the new studio set up, and I'll be making some more heady straws. Hell yeah, Hank. Damn right. Hey, Hank, y'all gonna be at the ranch in April, right? At Kirk Clips? Shoot me a message or respond on here. Let's see here. Yeah, we did the members of the week, the plant of the week. We're doing some dabs. Hell yeah. Dang right. Let's also talk a little bit. It's probably going to be a common theme for a while, and it definitely worked. Gonna go over posting procedures in the Dream Bean Support Center. For those that have seen, there's been a lot more robust posts. Thank y'all so very much. I appreciate it. The mods, all the moderators and myself appreciate it greatly. Okay? The reason that we want to have the most text-rich, information-rich, robust posts possible is because those are the ones that Facebook leaves alone. They don't mess with our group. They don't mess with you or your account individually. We have to let them know that it's a cultivation post and cannot ever be construed or misconstrued as as something for sale. And even if we put NFSOT and all that stuff, that's just another layer that we actually add on there. So if you've got pictures of a plant that's late in flower or finished flower, you're going to be required to put all of the grow information. That's going to be your soil, your light, your newt schedule, your pH, any problems you experience, any, just the growth, overall growth, nose, smell, how does it taste, how does it look. As much information as you can possibly put on that post. It truly helps us out, and it helps everybody that's reading along behind that. So because lots of folks here are new, and so they want to know, how did you get that awesome plant? What did you do? And so it just really, really helps people get a good knowledge base and ultimately, not having to ask 10,000 questions. And because sometimes, if you got somebody and they may have a very similar situation, and then the information's not there. No, Hank, I said Kerr Clips, not Netflix, you goober. I said, are you and Betty going to Kerr Clips? There's River. There he is. He's in the house. Hell yeah, Michael Carr. Way to make a live Tate. Hell yeah. Just on the posts, folks, just make sure that you're putting as much information in there as possible. And if you don't, we're going to put a comment on there and say, hey, can you edit this post? And it just takes a lot of time. And so just put all the information on the posts. Woohoo. Justin Wiggins, wondering if I have any XXL beans. I mean, it's all subjective. I'm not sure what your setup is like. Do I have strains that get big? Absolutely. I have lots of strains that, depending on your skills and your setup can reach, double-digit ounces. Some of them get over a pound depending on your setup. It just depends on your skills and how good your setup is. So, do I have any haze in the future? Yes, we've got a secret haze that I'm going to be working again. It's pretty good. It's actually super good. Any of my bears, anything that has bear in it, Bear Fist, Slushy Bear, Blue Kong Bear, any of those have the potential for a really super haze terpene profile, because that's where my Bear's Breath had it was a haze strain originally. So it's got some real good haze profile. It's all good, Billy. Hey, we understand. So, we're going to talk a little bit about trimming. For everybody out there that's had to trim or is going to have to trim, I'm sorry. It sucks. There's a reason why we call it trim jail. Hey, you know what's funny? I've been doing this a while, y'all, and it's been a family ordeal for a long time. And I've had lots and lots of people say, I love trimming. Oh, it'd be so awesome to be in there and be with your buds and get in there real close and really get a good relationship and trim them all up and make a bullshit. That sucks. It sucks so much. I'm sorry that anybody ever has to trim. Okay. So, we're going to go over some tips and tricks and just kind of different methods and, how people do it. And I want to say that, first and foremost, the most common, I guess, discrepancy is a wet trim versus a dry trim. What does that mean, Derek? What is a wet trim? What the hell does that mean? Okay, what that means is you're still trimming the plant when there is still water in the leaves, okay? Now, the main benefit to wet trimming is that the leaves are still sticking out perpendicular when you wet trim. It makes it much, much easier to actually trim the buds, okay? Makes them easier because the plant, the leaves that you're trimming are still parallel or perpendicular to the main stalk, okay? So they're growing outwards like this. Well, whenever you dry trim, in most cases hang it upside down, and so those leaves curl around the bud, making it exponentially harder to get in there and trim them. Okay, so there's pros and cons to each different way. What I can tell you is that I've done it both ways, and I've never really seen a difference in the end product of something that's wet trimmed versus dry trimmed. There's a whole big discussion out there about busting chloroplasts and the chlorophyll getting out, leaking out whenever you wet trim, or it being. I've just never seen it. I've just never seen a difference as far as the end result when it comes to a wet trim versus dry trim, and that's the only difference. I've just never, you couldn't tell the difference. You could put them both in a bag and you just won't really be able to tell. And yeah, the key from the trim bin. So you also, when you wet trim, the cilial stalks, the stalks and the capulated stalks, god dang, snowboard mess. The capulated stalks, your trichomes, are still wet and they're still there, and they're still pliable and elastical, and they can still move, and they don't pop off really easy. When they're dry, they come off, and you get keef in your trim bin. And so it's all about the cure, as Jordan LeClaire is saying. Yes, it's about the dry and the cure. The drying of the plants and drying of cannabis plants is absolutely the most, heck yeah, Roxanne. Hey, I don't know if you didn't hit the everyone tag, can you? Or another mod that's watching, can y'all do that? Try to get it up over whatever it was last time, 225. They didn't have as many people say they were going. Most, I've seen that the more people show up on the days that we're doing drops. But that's okay. Oh, thanks, Roxanne. 199, there we go. Let's get it up over 200. Everybody that's here, keep staying here. Who left? I'm going to go back and look. I'm going to see who left. Not really. So wet trim versus dry trim. I've never seen a difference in the end product. It's all about personal preference. What's up, Blake? There's my guy, Blake Puzzles. Y'all, if y'all don't know, Blake's got fire tie-dyes, tightdyes.com. Y'all go check them out. I was actually in my Dream Farm report. That was a Blake's custom dye from Tight Dyes that I was wearing in my last Dream Farm report, so y'all get it out. Any tips for sticky scissors, Lex Bernal? I'm so glad that you asked. 210. Oh, 212, 210. Hell yeah, way to go, baby. Vanna Wife, 215. Hell yeah, let's go. Everybody that's on here, keep watching. 217, hell yeah. Yes, Lex Bernal. Hey, I'm glad you actually asked that because absolutely I have a tip. There's 221. Let's get it. 222, yeah. Okay. The trick to keeping your scissors not sticky. Get a cup of alcohol and get 2 pair of scissors. 1 pair of scissors you're going to leave upside down in the cup of alcohol. It's going to soak, it's going to marinate in there, okay? So you're using one, you're getting one, it's going to get all sticky, okay? You're going to take that one and you're going to put it in the cup of alcohol. You're going to take the fresh one out that's not sticky anymore, wipe it off with a clean paper towel, blow on a little bit and get it dry, and go back to trimming. While you're trimming with this one, the one that's in the cup is steadily dissolving all of that stickiness, okay? And so you always want to have 2 pair of scissors and keep one that you're not using in the cup of alcohol. Okay. There's also the canna brush. Canna brushes, folks, I've used them a lot since they came out, basically. I love them. I love the canna brush. Okay? Making sure, and yes, it is different than a dang baster brush. It has stiffer bristles. It has holes perforated through it. It's a reason, I mean, it's an actual product designed specifically for trimming your cannabis with the brush style. I love it. It really, really doesn't, okay. Also, they're made out of silicone. For those that don't know, silicone and trichomes, they don't stick. Silicone is not sticky. It doesn't stick to it, okay? And so whenever you're brushing the leaves, it literally just breaks the brittle leaf matter off, and it leaves the trichomes. Any trichomes that are left, it's less than if you scissor trim. If you scissor trim and do it dry trim, you will have more trichome loss than if you use a canna brush. I guarantee it, okay? It's just the way that it works. It doesn't stick to the bristles. They stay on there. It's awesome. I mean, I love them. And so if you haven't used a canna brush, I would suggest it, okay? There's also a little old trick that I developed. I don't even remember where the hell I heard it, and there's still people doing it to this day. Back in the day, way back when, way back yonder days, okay? It was a freaking bro science myth that for some reason folks who were growing pot thought that if you hung it upside down, all the good stuff would flow to the bottom. Well, we know that's not how cannabis works. It's inside the capulated stalk. It's inside the trichome head. It's not going to flow anywhere. It's just not how it works. Okay? And for some reason, that is just how it became industry standard. Everybody hangs their plants upside down. Why? Why do you do that? Why do we hang them upside down? Okay? So, if you are going to be a dry trimmer, all right, and you're wanting to not have to deal with those leaves that are curled around the bud, all you have to do is dry it upright. That's it. All the leaves will dry at perpendicular angles. It makes it easier to canna brush. It makes it easier to trim. It's a really, really... No, Gregory, we're not doing a new drop tonight. That's going to be for next week. 2 drops. And a freebie. And so it's going to be sticking out, okay? So it'll dry just the way that it was growing with those leaves perpendicular out from the apical meristem, okay? From the main stalk. All right? And so, if you're a dry trimmer, if you like to dry trim, and you don't like messing with those buds that are, those leaves that are curled all the way around the buds, okay, boom, just have it to where it's, Josh, I don't know, Amazon, I don't know where the hell they sell those canna brushes. Look, hey, look, okay, here, no, you have to show them. Vanna Wife coming through with the props. Look at Vanna Wife. So I have a couple that just because I didn't want to wait on a canna brush that I actually modified. This one actually worked really good because it's got those little holes in there.
The strong part in the middle.
Yeah, this strong part in the middle versus the bristles. This one worked really good. So you just, and nothing sticks on there because it's silicone, and it just breaks off the pieces that you want. So I'm a big advocate. I'm a big fan of the canna brush. I think everybody should use one. They're good. And right, Jane, I get what you're saying. It kind of makes it just because, again, this is just something we've been conditioned to do, is to hang them upside down. It's not any harder to hang them right side up. It may take up a little more space just because they're still out and they're still taking up that same amount of cubic footage. Okay, but ultimately, just taking a coat hanger, string it up, string it around the top of it, it's the same. Yeah. Jason Wildschultz, yeah, man, the canna brush, bro, it's a thing. It's, and it gets a lot of hate. It's another thing. It's kind of almost like autos. People just don't know about it. They've never used it, and they just assume, oh, well, it must do that, or this must happen. It must throw trichomes out into the freaking atmosphere. It just doesn't. And so I let everybody. I want everybody to try them. They're good. It's not the same as a barbecue brush. There are subtle differences that make it specifically designed for trimming cannabis. So let's go ahead. Let's do another dab. That's what I want to do. Then we'll keep talking about some trim stuff. Then we're going to talk about the next week's 1-year anniversary for Dream Beans, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now I'm kicking cameras and stuff. Oh yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh yeah. There we go. Oh. I disappeared. Where'd I go, Bob? Oh, the cloud of smoke. It was pretty cool. I always try to do that where it's super foggy, ultra aesthetic. Oh, Nick Damon, Farm Manager River, has been saying since the very first Talk About It Tuesday, is his favorite part of his week is watching me cough extensively. I don't know why, but y'all seem to like it, so I keep doing it. Trim bowl. I've never used the trim bowl. The trim bag. The trim bag, the trim bowl, the Tom's tumbler, trying to think anymore. All of those are the same method, okay? And the canna brush. Those are all the exact same method of trimming, okay? What you're doing when you're using any of those methods is you're taking the brittle, the brittle leaves, the sucker leaves, all the stuff that you're trimming is going to lose moisture faster than the buds. So while the outer leaves are going to probably have 0 to 3% moisture level, the buds are still going to have like 9 to 10. Okay? And so what you're doing when you're using a trim bag or a trim bowl or a canna brush is you're just breaking off, you're using pressure to break off those brittle pieces, okay? When you run it through a trim bowl, it has a grate, okay? It has little, the spaces between that little, the middle part, and by rubbing the bud over it, what happens is those little leaves, so here's the bud, here's the leaf around it, all right? They get stuck in that little perforation, and whenever you push it across, it breaks it off. And it's brittle because it's dry. Okay, so all of those methods are the exact same technique of trimming. It's literally just breaking off the brittle pieces versus getting scissors to cut the stem pieces, okay? Now, one of the things that will happen and that you can get, and it's still sometimes, almost all the time, you have to go back after you've brushed or trim binned or trim bowled or trim bagged, okay, and get what they call crow's feet. What the hell's a crow's feet? I thought that was something old ladies got right there on their eyes. Well, that too, but there's another thing, okay? A crow's foot is when you have the nug, when you have the bud, and you got this leaf, and it's got the internal, the veins of the leaf, okay? It's got the veins. And those veins can actually break off the leaf matter, okay, the actual leaf part, and it'll have just three little twigs, three little stalks, little stems, three little stems. And so you'll have to come back and cut those. But they will be more exposed and they should be out more perpendicular because the force of actually taking that branch and that leaf and breaking it, okay? Oops, made me cough, and I don't even do a dab. Did I say I wasn't high? Ha ha, you need to be high, Dave. Okay. Can I post a link for the canna brush for everyone? Yes, absolutely. You can, whoever that was that said, can they post a link for the canna brush? Yes, you can post a link for the canna brush, whoever that was. Yes, the trim bowls, and there are some of those trims. That's also true, Scott Melling. That some of these newer ones, and because I haven't grown for flower in a while, there's new stuff. Maybe I don't know. The trim bowls that I've always seen are like the ones that have the fingers at the top, and then it's just little like foam fingers that just push the buds around a grate. If there's something different than that, then I'm interested to see. And so the trimming is it's really something that we've tried to make really complicated. That's just really simple. Okay, removing the excess leaf matter that doesn't have a calyx is the end goal. And so there's a lot of different ways to do that, okay? Not really. There's just, you can cut it or you can break it, all right? The main thing is getting the dry correct and getting the cure correct. These are the things, and the drying process and the curing process is the process of the starches and other metabolites breaking down into sugars, breaking down into the alcohols, esters, and aldehydes that we actually are seeing now being really responsible for the super funky and super ultra really smelly strains. It's not just all about terpenes, okay? There's different parts and different things that the plants actually makes that are contributing to those that we're actually seeing. Somebody just made made a post about that a couple days ago. Can't remember who it was, but it was super good. Super good article. Got a bowl with a blade. It's on the bottom of the grate where you're talking about to help. Oh, okay, cool. Hell yeah, that's badass, Eric. Hell yeah. I might have to take a look at those. And yeah, so the proper drying is going to be that process, that metabolic process, that decomposition process of those starches and stuff into sugars is what will give you the best tasting and smelling pot. The best way to do that is to have a slow and controlled dry. Again, like Brian said, 10 to 60 degrees and 60% humidity until you reach, anywhere between 9 to 12% internal stem moisture. You can achieve that, and you can find out what your internal stem moisture is by getting a wood moisture meter. They're very, very cheap. You don't have to spend a lot of money on them. Just get a pinned, P-I-N-N-E-D, pinned moisture meter. They use it for like mold testing and stuff like that. It's just a little box that has 2 little pins, and you jam it into a stem of your bud when it reads between 9. I like 9 to 11. I don't really like 12. I like mine about 9.5 to 10%. It's just a setting of softwood. Yep, set that softwood setting because it's essentially the softest of woods that you can get. And yeah. So yeah, get it to where it's that's gonna be a way more contributing factor to the end product versus how you actually trim it. Okay. Oh, look at whole river. Ain't smoking Daz, but this bubble hash down here, dank. Oh yeah, I saw some of that. It was good. Yeah. Do another dab. Oh Jesus, River, you're killing me, Smalls. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of questions, but I just don't see them because they come in too fast. What were they? You can remove sugar leaves. You can also leave them on. The only thing that I've ever heard as a reason to hang them upside down, other than the old bro science myth of stuff flowed to the bottom, is that actually the curling of those leaves around that bud actually slows the drying process, which it does, and there is less leaf material. There's less material to actually have dry, so it can lead to a quicker dry if you do wet trim and take all that material off. Okay. Again, it's really just personal preference, though. I mean, as long as you can get it to where you have a controlled environment and you can regulate your temperature and your humidity and your airflow, then you should be able to still get a 9 or 10 day dry of anything that's trimmed, wet trim. So, yeah. So that's okay. God damn it, River.
You check the butt or the stem with the moisture?
The stem. You check the stem. Check the stem. Jam it into a stem. That old moisture meter. Hey, James Colts, I'm glad that you made it.
And do you do darkness before? People are asking.
Darkness before? Hell no.
48 hours of darkness?
Fuck no. Don't do that shit. It's bro science and it leads to mold and mildew and bud rot and all kinds of stuff. Feed till chop. Flushing is bro science. Keep your lights on until you chop. 48 hours of darkness. I don't know who came up with that crap, but it's dumb. It just does. It's not a thing. Okay. So don't do that. Keep your lights on until chop and feed them till chop. Yeah, Flex Luger bites the stem. You know what's funny is that was also always a. I've heard a lot of people say they bite the stems to see if they're dry. Do it, do the dab, do the dab. I'm doing the dab. What's up, Barry? Yeah. So no 48 hours of darkness. 48 hours of light. I don't know what that means. You give it all the light it can handle until you chop it down. Do I have to push down in jar or bag or leave it loose? I'm not sure what you mean, James. If you're talking about a a Grove bag, then you want it kind of loose in there. Yeah, there was a dab. I snuck one in there on y'all. So we're gonna talk about next week. Guess what, guys, gals, ladies and gents, folks of all ages, as long as you're 21. It's been a year. We've been doing this for a year now. We've been officially launched on the 12th. It'll be a year that we've been rocking out Dream Beans, the Dream Beans Support Center, and the Dream Beans family. I cannot thank y'all enough because this last year has gone by very quickly. We've had so many cool things, so many badass strains and drops and, cool contests and just as much stuff as I could possibly get my old brain to think of. So I am super excited to see what year number 2 has and what the 2024 has for us. Because I know it's special. I know it's going to be awesome. We're already in here started with, five more strains that are going to result in some amazing outcrosses. I just can't wait. It's going to be awesome. So next week we're going to have 2 drops, 2 different strains that we're going to drop. I will go ahead and tell you that one of them is going to be some sort of variation of a greasy, grimy gopher guts. I know y'all are like, what? Greasy, grimy gopher gut, mutilated monkey me. There used to be an old children's song, old nursery rhyme. I don't even know if it's a nursery rhyme. It was really gross. But talked about greasy, grimy gopher guts. And that's the most thing I could come up with this one whenever I was collecting the seeds and harvesting them. I was like, man, this thing it smells like death. It smells like gross. Like, I don't know how many of y'all have hunted or fished or anything. You know the smell of decomposition. Okay? This is it. It smelled like you walked up on a dead pile of gophers. I've never walked up on a dead pile of gophers before, but I can imagine if I did, this is what it smelled like. So, that's going to be a little bit of a tease. We're going to have 2 new strain drops, and I know that probably even more happy and excited are y'all for this piece of news. We've got new freebies. We're going to have new freebies. We're going to have new freebies. Ooh, yeah. New freebies coming on next Tuesday. We're going to have the big blowout extravaganza, super awesome, amazing Talk About It Tuesday next week on Tuesday. And, yeah, there it is, Lex, 10 days later, eaten by a polar bear. Yeah, that one. And so that's going to be the greasy, grimy gopher guts. G4, I like that, JP. That's actually pretty good. That may even catch on as the acronym. G4 for greasy, grimy gopher guts. Yeah. So it's gonna be it's good. It's good. Yeah, it's good though. Hey, don't get it twisted, Brad. Because as much as I like to explain these smells and tastes and terpene profiles and everything like that, it's still cannabis. It's still weed. It still smells like weed. What is the new freebie? Guess what, Blake Trainer? You're gonna have to tune in to find out. I'll let everybody know. We'll let everybody know next week on the blowout extravaganza, super fire, ultra awesome 1 year anniversary. Plants don't rest in the dark period, Chase Mitchell, because these are autoflower plants. They are designed and developed and evolutionarily evolved to carry out all biological processes in low light settings versus complete darkness. Autoflowers, i.e. day neutral cannabis, does not need a rest period. They don't get it in nature and they don't get it here. Okay, they don't need it. They just don't. Up there where the day neutral cannabis trait evolved is above the 72nd parallel. It's above a certain portion in our planet. And up there in the growing season, it never gets completely dark. So a purchase of the new drop next week will get the freebies. Yes, they will. So the new drops are going to come with new freebies and everything moving forward until we're out of those. No. And we're gonna have a discount. We're gonna be doing discounts. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be rad. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be rad. So Y'all get ready for some greasy, grimy gopher guts. Yeah, little birdie, dirty feet, French fried eyeballs. There's a whole song about it, and it's just, I don't know, just whenever it's just what the mental image and the tune in my head just kept going off and just kept going off that song, and so I just knew that had to be it. Brian Kelly Brooks, the Skunk Project is not gonna happen for a long time. Fuck. Not gonna happen for a long time. I don't know what part of y'all. Do I need to explain how long it takes and why it takes so long to get from a photo to a stable auto? It takes forever. So the skunk is going to come. Probably when your kids are in school or high school graduating. I don't know. It's a long time from now. But we're working on it steadily. Steadily working on it. Todd Womack, what's up? So, yeah, let's see here. Talked about some trimming. You better get back on there. Oh, I hate it when it makes me so mad. Because I cannot, for the life of me, figure out how to turn that stupid flashy thing. No. I don't know. So my phone's at 20%, and then, of course, it lets me know my phone is at 20%, and when I have to push that little button, it takes off my flash, and so I'm not as illuminated.
Okay.
Can you still see me, baby?
Yeah, you're good.
Yay! All right. Yeah, I need to find the song and start playing it for real. Maybe it'll play on the website whenever you go to the stream. That'd be cool. Full drops, yes. They will be full drops. Need a good cheese, Otto. You know, I just never was really a big fan of the cheeses. I like real cheese, but the cheese cannabis strains, they just never really did it to me. And so I just never really got into them. So that's gonna be probably about that's probably gonna be about it. Why won't it let us click the share button? I don't know, Callie. I don't know. Brad, you have been good. You haven't mentioned the vanilla or the orange in a while. Tony, hey, I got the good news for you, Tony. We'll go ahead and we'll finish this one off. We'll finish and fire off this dab to go ahead and conclude this week's Talk About It Tuesday. So, thank y'all all for showing up. We had, I think we had 220, we had 220, 222, something like that. So it was super awesome, super rad. Thanks everybody for showing up and coming. Let's get those dabbers ready. Let's get those dabbers hot. Let's sign off with a little bit of pot. We'll see y'all out there in the Dream Bead Support Center. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Shit. Okay, y'all know what it is. Love ya. We'll see you out there.